Good evening, all, and welcome to the Tactical Devils. I'm your host, Jarvis, and with me tonight I have Stu Wally, and we will break down the Europa League final between Man United and Spurs, the tactical preview. We will talk about everything, the players. A lot of players came back from injury. We're talking about Dalot, Zirkzee, and a whole lot of other players are available. Same with Spurs. The traveling squad has just been released, and there's a couple of names missing. Vital players like, for example, James Maddison. So we will talk a little bit about that. We will see how tactically Postecoglou will set his team up, how Amorim will do at the same time, and what kind of weaknesses they have, and how we can break them down, and the same vice versa. There's some transfers update news about Cunha, some of Delap, others just pure speculations, and we will go through all of it. So people, while you wait, I will play the intro and you can smash the like. You can subscribe if you're new, and we will be back right after the intro. So see you in a second. Yes, and good evening, everybody. And here is Stu.
Hello.
Hello. I hope you're doing well. See people tuning in already. We have Mr. B in the house. We have Tom Porter coming in with a good evening. Good evening, Tom Porter.
What's that? Good evening, Tom.
Anything else? Oh, well, okay. We have Johnny K here. Beautiful intro and memorial past times. And we have Jamie Wayne coming in with Cunha. I don't know, no heart emojis. So yeah, the Cunha deal is actually and we have J United member for 3 months. 3 months to a legendary channel. Big up. Thank you, Jay. You are a legend. So guys, girls, before we get into it, please subscribe to the channel if you're new, if this is your first time watching, and please smash the like. All the likes, especially in the beginning, is important just to get the word out there and get the momentum going. So yeah, Stu, how you been? How was your weekend?
Weekend was pretty good, actually. Yeah, I had a really good weekend. It was over a bit too quick this weekend. So a couple of meetings today, but nice day today. A couple of meetings tomorrow, and then I've got that five-a-side tournament on Thursday. So I should be demonstrating the trophy. 2 trophies, one for Manchester United Wednesday and one for the mighty. I'm playing for the IAAF on Thursday. The mighty IAAF on Thursday will be lifting the trophy. So 2 trophies this week coming Tactical Devils way, definitely. Yeah, all good.
You expect nothing more, nothing less than 2
nothing
trophies.
Less than pure victory. Nah. Pure victory.
It will be an utter disappointment if you just end up with 1.
If we don't win anything, then I'm going into the holiday season early doors. I am hibernating, old friends, until we come back. Forget those pointless friendlies that we've got at the end of this month. I'll be hibernating until we come back.
That sounds good. Who else is here? We have Johnny Commode coming in with a comment. It's a big final on Wednesday, but congratulations to Crystal Palace on winning the FA Cup and their first major trophy.
Yes.
Seeing their supporters, young and old, crying at the end shows why we love football, and that's beautiful words.
Well said, Johnny K.
Yes, and Jamie Wayne follows up with the big up Palace. Well done. Did you see the FA Cup final?
I saw bits and pieces. Palace were well worth their victory. Great to see Guardiola crying again. That's 2 FA Cup finals, crying like a baby. after both. They went in as favourites, but Palace just showed a bit of energy, a bit, just that little bit of effort, Jarvis, and that will to win, and that you're not going to score past us. Whatever mentality is absolutely brilliant. People can say that Henderson should have been sent off. I don't really care. Fuck it. Who cares? City were beaten. City are potless. It's over.
Yeah, it was a strange one, that.
Yeah, well, they haven't put it about. I mean, somebody made a City fan actually was on TalkSport, and he made a point that we made, I don't know, about 18 months ago about Haaland, brilliant goal scorer, but can't play football for Toffee. And he made this point that when Haaland was injured, they were winning, and as soon as Haaland's been back, they've not scored because they're using Haaland as a focal point. He's absolutely right. I mean, Haaland obviously bottled the penalty, didn't he? He gave it to Marmoush.
Yeah, I saw that.
Score. So a really interesting game. I think, I can't imagine that Guardiola's looking forward to the next press conference for final showdown on Sunday, because obviously he's going to be, what happened, what went wrong, and all that kind of stuff. But teams come to an end. Some of the great Manchester United teams came to an end. The great Liverpool teams come to an end. It happens in football, and I don't know whether City have got the wherewithal to put it around again. It'd be interesting to see, but great for us. Absolutely great.
They will try to buy themselves out of their misery. 100%. They will. They will splash the cash.
And bearing in mind, you got Arsenal finished second, and good old Arteta was saying, "Oh, what a really difficult season with all our injuries, brilliant." And yet he's been manager for 5 years, no finals, and we've had 5 finals in 5 years. I do like that stat. Very, very good. I think we've been in a final since.
Yeah, it's strange. It's strange. It feels
2017, isn't it? Pretty much.
Yeah.
Give or take, something like that. I don't know. Yeah. Somebody tell me. Yes, Wirtz did reject
I'm
them.
sure that the Devilish Ecos knows all about it. Yeah. J United, thank you for that. That anyone can smash that like on in the live chat from J United, one of our moderators, asking you to retweet, to share the show on X, so we can reach out to more people. Everything helps, and I count on you guys. So. And also from J United comes in and says, smash a like and subscribe if you're new on the road to 800 subs. We are on 715 subs now. We are only 285 subs away to our big goal of 1,000 subscribers.
Yes, please.
I hope we can reach it at least in the beginning of next season or something.
Yes, I'd like. Yes, that'd be great. That'd be amazing.
Yeah, that would be super amazing. And Johnny K also comes in with a little stat that Haaland has never scored at Wembley.
There you go. Johnny K would know.
Yeah, Johnny K knows everything.
He knows his stuff. Just Johnny K knows his stuff.
Yeah. Yeah, we can go. We will do a Q&A at the end of the show, but we can do a couple of questions now in the beginning. And say, Jamie Wayne, Jarvis, would you start Højlund this weekend? I wouldn't. This week, I wouldn't. No, I have no faith in Højlund whatsoever. I don't think he's good enough, and his movement is off. His technique is off. I don't think he offers anything. But he will start 100%, because I don't think we have any other options. And I think it's vital for the way Amorim wants to play. When Amorim plays football, he likes to play it short and he likes to play it long. So, if we can put Canacho in the false 9 or Bruno, but then we lose the ability to play it long. And we can do as Stu mentioned last time. We can try Maguire on top. Oh, yeah, I don't know, Stu.
Talking of that, I sent Jarvis a clip of our Maguire conversation, and good old United stand. Hope you're watching, guys. Big wave out to you, because you seem to be seem to be spouting a lot of what we talk about. It's quite interesting. But anyway, Beth from the United Stand come out with it, and about an hour after our show, something along those lines came out with it and said, "Do you know what I would do if Delap was fit? Like, I could tell you word for word." She said, word for word, if Delap was fit, I'd play Maguire up top. And I texted it to Jarvis because I thought it was hilarious. It just popped up on my timeline. I thought it was quite funny. So welcome to the United States.
But I have to say it was a little bit lighthearted when we talked about it. You know, seriously, I think we can't play Maguire on top. Well, we can do for the last 10 minutes, but not as a starter. I think that will ruin our game plan and how we want to set up. I don't see Maguire doing long, intensive diagonal runs into the zone 16, zone 18, holding up the ball.
But we don't see Højlund do that either. I'm just floating that. We don't see him do that either. Look, the interesting thing is, look, I agree. Højlund plays. Jamie's right. We wouldn't if we could find a better way, a more manageable way of playing a false nine. Maybe I would. Problem is, Jamie, is you've got to occupy the two centre halves. Even if you have a false nine, you've got to drag the centre halves away. Something Højlund doesn't do. Something Mateta did brilliantly for Palace's goal. The way that he held it up, used the ball, moved the ball quickly. It was really great centre forward play, and we just don't have that in our locker at the moment. And Højlund needs to do something. And on our kind of false nine, whoever that may be, even if you put Mason Mount up there, he just doesn't allow the strength that we need. So for me, I agree with Jarvis. Højlund will start. There's absolutely no two ways about it. But Jamie, I'm equally with you. I think if we could drop him, then we would. Yeah, absolutely, we would. So the Maguire thing, it was a bit tongue-in-cheek, but ultimately, like I say, Højlund doesn't make the diagonal runs that we need. He doesn't hold the ball up. Maguire does hold the ball up. He's the thing about Maguire is his damage. He will win headers. He will batter the two centre halves, and he will make them work, and it will make them think. And the thing about the way that Maguire would play up top, and he wouldn't naturally force them back with pace, but he'd actually naturally force them back with power, because he would walk into them and he would drive them back just by backing into them, and he would push players down. Yeah, absolutely. He's centre back. Yeah, I forgot about Dion Dublin. Yeah, striker and centre back, and Maguire would actually push these centre halves back. So it is a bit of a fanciful notion putting Maguire up there, but there are a lot of elements that could play into the Maguire to Amorim's hands. It would confuse the hell out of Postecoglou. He wouldn't know what the hell's going on. He'd be like, "Hold on, you can't do that. That's not in the handbook. Help me, ref." Stuff of that nature. But people talk about Maguire not being mobile enough at the back. Absolutely, but he doesn't lose many headers, so he's a physical presence at the back for us. So, and he's proven he's a physical presence up top, and he's proven an ability to ghost into positions and pop the ball in the back of the net over the last few weeks. But anyway, it won't happen. But I would give it a go anyway. What the hell? What you got to lose?
Well, you make a brilliant point, but for me, I think it's all about how we want to set up, how we want to attack this game from a tactical point of view. And tactics is not just about numbers and formation. It's about a set style of play. And when you think of it, when we want to, for example, when we want to play out from the back, you have to be able to have a striker who are willing to attach from his centre back, drop down into the space from their high press. They leave a little bit of space in behind, just in front of the mid circle, and that's the space where the attacker have to drop down, receive the ball, and hold it up so we can move the rest of the team a little bit higher. Then you probably shift it right, left, then you start.
Højlund doesn't do that, Jarvis. So and as much as you're right in what you say, I'd fucking chuck tactics out the window on this one. This is a one-off game. And the thing is, we've come up against Tottenham 3 times this season and lost 3 times. And we lost heavily 3 times. We haven't played well enough. Maddison in particular has been a real linchpin for them when he plays against us. Doesn't play the same way against us than he does at other oppositions. Rushmano, absolute. We'll come to that in a sec, pal. I just think that on this particular occasion, we've got to chuck it away, and we've got to say, right, let's allow Tottenham to run the tactical battle for us. And sometimes in a weird battle in football, if you aren't particularly tactically astute, but yet you're able to recognise tactically what they're doing against you, it's a lot easier to actually dominate when you're not trying to set up your particular way. So you're allowing the opposition to actually set you up. And sometimes that's a real plus in a game of football. The thing about Amorim is he won't allow us to do that. And I like his stubbornness. I like the way that he wants to play. I like that he wants to play out from the back. Well, actually, I don't because I think playing out from the back sometimes is pointless. It doesn't get you up the pitch anywhere near as quickly as maybe a bit of a throw out to a Garnacho, or a bit of a little gentle kick into the middle third and pick out Bruno or somewhere like that. And as well as I do, pal, we don't necessarily always have the personnel to be able to play out from the back. Yeah. And we've seen that, and we've proven that, haven't we, when we're going through the clips? But the interesting thing is sometimes if we allow Tottenham to dictate to us how Tottenham want to play, I think that would benefit us better. And we haven't done that in the past. We've allowed ourselves to get wrapped up in how we want to play, and we've forgotten about the opposition. All we've got to do, Jarvis, is win that game 0. That's it. We get over that white line. Jarvis scores the goal. I put in a pearlet of a centre-half's cross. Jarvis rises like the sand that he is, backstick, peels away, slides on his knees, flowing locks. There he goes, finishes off like that, and we win the game 1-0. That's all you have to do in a final. That's all we've got to do. We can stay. That's all Palace do. Yeah, go on.
I just want to say hi to Jeff. We have people from other channels coming in. We have Chelsea fans last time. We have Jeff from Arsenal. Everybody's invited. This is a friendly environment, and we accept everyone. As long as you keep it civilized. And big up Jeff. He said I borrowed my mate's Man United shirt for Wednesday.
Cheers. Yes, of course he has.
You all know the rivalry between Arsenal and Spurs, so I fully understand why you are holding a Man United shirt on Wednesday. That's will be good. We have some gifted memberships from Rushmano.
And we've had a super chat as well.
Yes, let me blow my tooth.
Oh God! Hey, he's got Jarvis, you've got to blow harder. Give it a proper. Come on. Let's see. Get those lungs going.
Say the dad joke. Okay.
You ready?
Did it work?
No, Rushmano, I apologise again, and Eduardo, I apologise when we do your super chat as well. I'm truly sorry for my colleague.
Okay, so let's see. Let me read out. We have 5 new members from Rushmano. Thank you again, Rushmano. It's Eduardo coming in. We have Tom Porter. Neil Driscoll is a new member. Big up, Neil. We have Helis Hussan and Press Fool coming in. Brez with the Z.
Rushmano, you legend.
So big up. Thank you. And welcome to the Devilish Tacticos memberships. And we have Eduardo coming in with a chat and say, do you guys think Amorim should be sacked if we don't win on Wednesday?
I don't.
What do you reckon, Stu?
No, not for me. It's a great question, and I expected that question tonight. But no, I think he came in at a very, very difficult time. I think it's been documented today, hasn't it, that Erik ten Hag has come out and said he's made mistakes at Manchester United, loves the club, but he made mistakes. There's rumours also coming out, God only knows why, that Amorim apparently wanted to quit. He doesn't strike me as a quitter, Ruben Amorim, at all. So I think, Eduardo, you've got to give him the season next year. And I think you'll see a difference. If we get the players that he wants, and if we can get in Cunha next week, next Monday it gets announced, would be absolutely phenomenal. I know Jamie Wayne would like him announced on Wednesday evening. Yeah, again, something like that would be absolutely brilliant. But I think it's a great question. I understand the question, but for me, I don't think he does. Postecoglou. I think if Postecoglou loses, Jarvis, I think he's not getting on a plane back to the UK. I think he's pissing back off to Australia. I think he'll be sacked even before he got down the tunnel. When it looks at what it means to Manchester United and what it means to Tottenham, I think it means more to Tottenham from a managerial standpoint than it does Manchester United. He came in November, October, November. Postecoglou's been there 2 years, 3 years, or whatever, 2 years at least. So it means a lot more to the managerial position at Tottenham than it will be for us. So I think he stays.
I think well, you're not asking about my opinion per se, because I think there's a possibility that Ineos can actually sack Amorim if he's not winning the Europa League final. Because I think the pressure will be on. It will be a total meltdown. It will be a shit show, excuse my French, after the game. And all the fans will melt down and they will call for his head.
If they
I bet
do,
if you do a poll right now, people will be about 65 to 70% Amorim in. But after that game, if you do a poll, it will be completely opposite. 70% will want him gone.
So question then, who have they bought Cunha for?
Yeah.
That to me stipulates.
We know how this club works. That's just, I'm trying to play the devil's advocate. I'm just
trying to. I think he stays.
Float the idea that it actually could happen.
Well, it could happen, but then again, we're just dumb anyway, aren't we, as a club? So there you go. We are dumb.
Yeah. But that's just my thoughts. I don't want Amorim to get sacked. I want him to stay on, and I would, as I've said earlier, I just want the board to go out, the Ineos and the leaders of this club go out and just say Amorim will stay for at least 3 more years. No question, no debate. He will stay. We have started the project and we are finishing the project that he started. So that's just my thoughts. But I'm worried. When you know Ineos' track record, 4 managers in 4 years at Nice, I don't see them going for the long game and longevity.
I think you've got to show some balls, though. Eventually, you have to turn around and show some balls. You've got to stop this cycle. Everything, you carry on changing the manager. You've got to start again. Carry on changing the manager. You've got to start again. Spend the summer getting rid of the woeful shite that we've got stockpiled, first and foremost. Bring some of the youth through a little bit quicker, like Harry Amas. Bring him through to the first team environment more, but have him regularly benched. Obi, bring him into the first team environment. Bring him on for 20 minutes, 30 minutes. Increase their minutes. Collier again, and start increasing some youth. Get rid of Ericsson, which we know is happening anyway. And that ilk of play that we don't need anymore. Take the money for Anthony. Take the money for Rashford. If there's money on the table for Bruno, see what the money is. If it's value for money, take the money for Bruno. You've got to stop. If you don't stop, it's like me and you, Jarvis, bouncing from YouTube channel to YouTube channel. What we're trying to build here is something special. And we're excited about it. But if we keep bouncing because we stay on 712 subscribers, we're never going to get past 712 subscribers. Just won't happen. And Manchester United have been in this well, this really, really deep well for years. And we're allowed these players to stir the well and keep these managers flattened. Some really technically good managers who've been winners. And we just can't seem to move. So enough's enough. stop the rot, and get behind somebody. You're right about Ineos.
I don't
right.
trust them, to be honest.
No,
I don't
no,
trust
you
them.
don't. And I think that's your biggest problem, isn't it, with Ineos, is you don't trust them.
No.
But what do you do? If you know, here's devil's advocate, guys, to you all, to devilish tacticos. Where do you go if you remove Amorim on Wednesday night or he resigns? Where do we go?
Yeah, it's a brilliant question, but I just want to bring some comments because I know this is this brings in some people want to have a say, and J United comes in and say this season's results isn't because of Amorim. The Amorim outers are blindly by the fact that the Glazers have done this to us. Countless managers sacking bad signings, bad players, and treatment, etc. I agree, Jay. And Yala also comes in and say, Jarvis, we need to drop saying how the club used to work with how it's working today. The running operations are night and day compared to Woodward's disaster. We got players signed before June 1st. Good point, Yala. And I think the footballing operation is working really well. But we know we have one guy sitting on top making a lot of calls, and that's Jim Ratcliffe. And I think he don't have all the time in the world. You know, he's an old man, and I think in his head, he wants instant results. You don't want results in 15 years, 10 years, 7 years. I think he wants to make Man United a great football team in shortest amount of time possible. And we saw that with, for example, the Ashworth sacking. He called it, Ratcliffe called it the lack of chemistry. It was a lack of chemistry. He came out.
Yes, he did.
And he could actually come out and do the same with Amorim. You know, if he's not feeling it, Amorim is out. That's just my biggest fear. And Roshmano comes in and say Amorim is the man. They will back him. Too much negativity to sack him now. Such a bad look, and they won't want that. But when you look in retrospect, they should have made a bold decision after the FA Cup final last season with Ten Hag. They gave him the window. They poured money into the Ten Hag style, and after a couple of months, he was gone. So you never know when it comes to football. But let's just put this to bed and hope that Amorim stays. But you know, it's a great question from Eduardo.
It's a brilliant question. Thank you.
Yeah, okay. A lot of people coming in with long comments. Sorry, I can't read them all out. We have a United XS coming in and say, hello, guys. Would you hire Vincenzo Italiano as a coach? He won Coppa Italia with Bologna. And actually, I saw a YouTube video about this Italiano guy, and looks like a proper manager, proper coach. Plays a very expensive style of football. Yeah, if we are going to bring in someone new, maybe he would be one of the. I don't know if you heard about this Vincenzo Italiano. Great name, by the way. Italiano.
It's a brilliant name. I think we're having the same conversation in 12 months, 18 months, 2 years, 3 years. Having the same conversation. It doesn't matter what you do, who you bring in. It's proven. Here's a Mourinho, proven manager, proven track record. It just didn't work. It doesn't matter who you bring in right now. If you don't get behind them and you don't back a manager and you give them a chance to do something, it's not going to work. You know, the players have got away with it for far too long. They've got away with, I don't like your coaching method, so I'm not going to play for you. They've got away with it.
I just want to share this because this came out today, and it's about the Ajax manager. Breaking: Francesco Faroli has now decided to leave Ajax with immediately effect, and the head coach has informed the club's board of his decision. So apparently Ajax is without the coach, and you know, right after this came out, and I know you know what I'm going to share, but Erik Ten Hag could return to Ajax.
Why not? Good luck to him.
Do you think he will do well at his former club?
Probably. I mean, people have got. But by the way, Jamie is coming. He's put a few comments on. We're not ignoring you, Jamie. Actually, I'd love to know your support because clearly you're not a Manchester United. I think it's right to say that none of us are happy with the current situation in terms of what we've done and what we haven't. You're absolutely right. 2 wins and 3 draws in 12 games is just not acceptable by any standards. If it was an English manager, he probably would have been shown the door. But Jamie, what we've done, pal, is just go through managers like a knife through butter. We haven't supported them properly. We haven't, replenished the squad in the right way. We haven't allowed the squad to develop properly. And because we haven't allowed the squad to develop properly, we haven't allowed these players we haven't removed these players that are quite toxic in the club move for the past 10 years. We find ourselves in this situation. We've got to stop that now. And by backing the manager for 3 years or 4 years, would turn around to the players currently, any prospective players coming in, that the manager's not the problem, you lot are the problem. Because at the end of the day, players don't hold themselves accountable. We know all this. Bruno's come out again today, isn't it? Yeah, we're not happy with this, we're not happy with that. Who gives a? Why would you be? What do you? And as fans, what do we expect them to say? We've heard it all before, just slightly rewritten, slightly spoken differently, but we've heard it all before. So it's a great question, Jamie, and we're not, pal. But I'd love to know your support though, and thanks for joining us.
Yeah. Big up, Jamie. Carlos comes in and say, I'll give Amorim until next season to see how we do from the summer and onward. So, but we talked about it. We made it a subject for one of our earlier shows about me and saying, I think that's a little bit too soon. And I don't expect Amorim to turn this around next season. I think it will take more time. New players will arrive. Some will leave. Needs to establish his tactics, and I don't think we will see instant results. I think we will continue on this losing streak. If we sit 10th at Christmas, I think that's as expected, at least for me. But I don't think a lot of people will accept that.
Can I just say, Jarvis, that a manager is judged on results and how he finishes the following season. But Amorim is on a free hit. And we finished 16th this season, 17th or whatever it is. If he finishes 10th, what do you want from me, guys? I've finished a lot higher than I did last year. He's on a free hit.
Well, we have higher expectations than 10th, but I don't think. Yeah,
all fans have higher expectations, but the point being is, if he finishes 16th this season, finishes 10th next season, he's improved. Whether we like it or not, that's life. And if he finishes 10th today and he finishes second next season, he's done it. It's free hit. It really is a free hit. I know I'm not being popular right now. I get it. I do. I understand it. But I'm a bit older than perhaps most of you guys. So I've seen, Neil, if you're in, Neil, help me out here, because we've seen crap before. We've seen dross before.
We did.
I would just like to see us do something. I just want to see some balls from the club. Mr. B's right, though. He was talking about that. I thought this is a really good point as well. We're not that club anymore, are we? We're not that club anymore. Yeah. He's right. Buy players for United, not for the manager. Totally agree. Get the right thing. Just get the right player in. And the Cunha one for me, Jarvis, I said 6 to 8 months ago, buy local, didn't I? Not by British, but by local, by Premier League.
But we know that's Wilcox's transfer strategy.
Yeah. Get them in for the Premier League. I'm not a huge fan of Delap. I'm not.
Delap, Dibbling, all of these Premier League proven players, that's Wilcox's players.
Get them in, because that will help us. I saw we were linked with Martínez today. I don't know how true that is. I like him. A lot of people don't. I like him. Sells would be better for me. I think he's a better keeper, but Martinez would be great, Premier League proven.
Yeah. Funny you mentioned it, because I was thinking to talk a little bit about Emil Martinez, but we can just go with it. And Emil Martinez now has offers from Manchester United. He's set to leave Villa at the end of the season. It's from D Sports. I don't know how reliable they are. I haven't seen Rushmano with the Transfers Man United talking about this, but Emil Martinez, I rate him. I like his attitude.
Yeah,
as a goalkeeper. He's a winner.
I mean, eyebrows are raised, wasn't he, when he moved from Arsenal to Villa? People going, fucking hell, what's going on here?
Mm.
And he went to, so he's not unaccustomed to going to a club that's lower down in the league. So I think it'd be great for us. But
and Rushmano also comes in and says Martinez is a shit house.
He is. Yeah, he is. He'll come and claim crosses, when he'll come and punch you, he'll come and kick you, spit at you.
And Eduardo also coming in and say, oh yeah, Martinez would be perfect. And Trevor Wade thinks he's too old. Martinez is 32, so no thanks from Trevor Wade.
Trevor's back. I'm sure he's giving me grief. Hey, Cardiff City, Jamie.
Yeah.
Cardiff City.
Oh.
No. Jamie, you're more than welcome. Come in anytime, pal. Always come and have your say, mate. It's always great to have fans from other clubs in. And have you say, you're more than welcome, pal.
And Dave coming in with, remember the hipsters who wanted a ball-playing goalkeeper.
Yeah.
You weren't one of them, Stu, by the way.
No, I wasn't. I wasn't a fan of De Gea either at that particular time. But I stand corrected on the De Gea Onana debate. I didn't particularly, me, I'm not interested in ball-playing goalkeepers playing up from the back. I'm not interested in any of that. You know that. I just want to see. Yes. Yeah. Well, they come in and punch me. That's one thing for sure, Trev. It give me a racket around the head. Martinez in the house, by the way. Martinez tuned into your show earlier, mate. Looking good. I like the new graphics. Everyone, if you don't know, go and like and subscribe to Mark's channel.
Yes, Mark brilliant. And MUFC fan. Yeah.
And
they say for goalkeeper 42 is old, not 32. That's the prime, and that's a good point. But I think the age thing is more about resale value, and when you know our transfer strategy, it's all about the money. It's all about the Benjamins. So yeah,
it is indeed. It is indeed. Yeah. Apparently, we're going to get a cash windfall with. Oh, sorry. With the selling clause from Alvaro Fernandez to Real Madrid. I did read that Real Madrid want us to buy him back, don't they, with our 18 million buy clause, so that they can spend 35 million euros on him rather than the 50 million that Benfica want. Which would be great for us because we make a nice pot of cash. Either way, we'll probably make more getting him in at 18 and reselling him on than we would for any kind of sell-on value from Benfica. So I did see that, and Real Madrid are pushing for that, aren't they? They haven't signed Trent Alexander-Arnold yet, I noticed.
But Liverpool are making. I saw they were both linked to Gyökeres and the Leverkusen guy. What's his name? The Dutch winger.
Frimpong. They're selling Frimpong. They're buying Frimpong.
Yeah.
In the UK at the moment.
So they're linked to two fullbacks.
Frimpong's in the UK apparently, having a medical.
Wow. So I can't see them keeping Trent. No way. Mick comes in, big up Mickey, say Jarvis, it has legs as Martinez wants to move. And Villa is looking at Juan Garcia from Espanyol.
Okay. Well, that'd be brilliant. I'd be happy with that.
Yeah. 25 likes, people. If you haven't smashed the like, 134 of you are watching, 40 on YouTube, and 95 watching us on X. So please smash the like if you haven't. Do so, it will help out the channel immensely. So every like counts, and we're not that many, but we have a loyal following of you guys. So do us a favor, smash the like, and that's my promoting from the likes. In other news, Stu, there's been some links. It's about Cunha, and all of it. It's about Cunha is almost done. Closing on the Man United deal. The Brazilian has accepted the project as an agreement on personal terms, now being finalized, almost done, and final details to sort between all parties involved. And then here we go. So we are close. It's your guy. Cunha.
Yeah, oh yes, yeah. I think he'll make a huge difference to us. In fact, it was quite interesting that Ten Hag was talking about him today, and he was saying that he plays every game like it's his last game of football. And I did quite like that. Look, he does go missing in games occasionally. He has a tendency to be lazy in games as well, but it's not going to happen at Manchester United. First 12 months, he's going to be at it. He's going to want to make that difference. He'll be the Mamouche effect that City enjoyed recently, that he will be a similar effect to us. He'll have that drive that we desperately need. We need somebody to run with that ball, drive that ball, power, pace, strengthen his shot, keeps the ball close to his feet, decent passer, but ultimately he's a live wire. He'll tackle, he'll get stuck in, he's got aggression, shithousery, but he's got a way hot temper, and that's what I like about the kid. I love that about them. Yeah, we're going to get sendings off. Obviously, he's going to get bookings, but it's up to the skipper, whoever that is, to manage him on the field. And it's up to the management, the coaches, to manage him off the field. But let's not take away that fire in his belly.
No,
absolutely brilliant for us.
We all remember what happened to Rooney as soon as he lost his fire.
Yeah, he lost his
down.
Yeah.
So if you have that fire and that's your passion for the game, I think you just have to keep it. It's not to be tamed.
Yeah, for me, great. For me, he's the type of player I like, and I think he's great for us. He won't. I mean, Trev's not 100%. Dave 147's not 100%. He's going to split opinion, absolutely, and so he should. Players like Cunha do split opinions, though, and I do like that about him.
Mark is talking about the £64 million deal for Cunha. I don't think it's
great value
too bad.
in the current market. That's great value.
Yeah,
great value in the current market to me. And apparently we can pay. That's his get out clause, isn't it? His release clause, and we can pay that over 3 installments. Apparently.
Yeah. And Mick also comes in and say United will pay above 62 in around 65 to split it up in 5 years. So the signings on the PSR books
will only
will
be
be
13.5 mil.
13.5. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. It will cost us, but I think it's a good signing, and we all know we need a number 10. And I think it also means that a player like Garnacho is on his way out.
He can play an 8 as well. Don't forget Cunha. He can play deep lying, not a 6. He can play deep lying, and he's got that ability. He'll pick the ball up from deep, and then he'll travel yards with it. And we need that. We don't have that ball carrier.
No.
You've got Garnacho out wide, but we don't have that ball carrier through the middle. So
yes, that's the point. Whole point of it. You have to have the ball carrier centrally.
You did, Jamie. You did. And I'm in total agreement with you, pal.
But this came out also from a good friend, Rashmano, Transverse MUFC. Guys, go subscribe to his Twitter channel on X, Transverse MUFC. Always reliable. He says the doors are now open to one more additional for the number 10 position, to have one more player able to play behind the striker base on what happened also with the outgoing. So let's say if we sell Garnacho, we will sign another number 10. And we've been linked to several number 10s now. And
we have
this one from United Truthful. We say a new number 10 alongside Cunha is not ruled out per Fabrizio Romano. So we have Cherki, we have Mbeumo, and this
River Plate
Argentinian kid. What's his name again?
I can't remember. He's from River Plate, isn't he? We're trying to convince him apparently to come.
Yeah, I just seen a couple of clips and he looks looks like a massive talent. A little bit worried about this price, and I think it's also linked to Real Madrid. So I don't see it happening, but you never know when it comes to Man United. So Mastantuono, that's his name, or
That's it. That's it. Yeah, yeah.
yeah. So who would you guys go for? Who would you go for personally, Stu, if you're bringing in another number 10?
Yeah, I like Mbeumo. I'm not really sure he's a 10 though, but I like Mbeumo because he can play up top, hold the ball up, good skills, scores goals, knows where the goal is. I like Mbeumo. I think he's had a really good couple of seasons in the Premier League. I won't imagine it'd be that expensive. But actually, if we can get that Mastantuono or whatever his name is, I think he'd be the better option. Keep him, let him play at River Plate for 6 months, bring him over in January, let him have 6 months training with the first team squad, a little bit of match fitness here and there, and then play him from the 26-27 season.
Okay. I see a lot of people in the chat. Rosmano comes in. He wants Mbeumo and
yeah, I can see it.
Maybe. And Story says tragic if Garnacho goes. Next out is Ahmad. Real wingers, both. Yeah, I think we are losing our identity when it comes to the wingers. But it is what it is. And if Amorim's not playing wingers, why keep them? It's just the way it is. Trevor Wade said Cherki is a luxury player. Great on the ball, but doesn't work hard enough for the team, and the Premier League would eat him up.
It's not a bad shout, really, because as good as he proved in small doses against us, I think Trev's right on that one. He's on the button on that one. Not so sure he's on the button with Cunha, but he's on the button with Cherki.
Yeah. And Jay also say Mbeumo is stronger than Xavi Simons. So overall, Mbeumo is the better option for me. And I think a lot of people tend to tilt to Mbeumo as our second number 10, and I'll agree, because I think he could be used as a number 9 if needed. Also,
100%.
So we have the option. He's versatile, and I think we need more versatile players because look at, for example, Masraoui, how he has transformed our team. We never really in need of a defender in any position. He can play centrally, he can play on the wing back, he can also even play. I think it's versatile players is so important in the modern day.
Yeah, definitely. Ghostface, just we have noticed your comments, pal. We do apologise. Me and Jarvis get yapping, and then that's it. The devilish tacticos will tell you that we aren't the best with comments, so don't take it to heart, because it's not. It's just us, two footballing nerds, and we can't stop talking sometimes. So please don't take it to heart, mate. Please.
No. We have Wolves coming in, and big up Jarvis and Stu. Big up Wolves. Stu Wolves. Good to see you in the house, one of our moderators. Yeah, but there's interesting stuff happening, and number 10 position looks set right now with Cunha coming in. Maybe we'll sign another one. But there's also several other links, and this came out, let's see, from Center Devils. Let's just talk about the transfers. Say Man United have a competition from several clubs for Liam Delap, including Chelsea. Surprise, surprise. And Delap is expected to enter meaningful discussions with all suitors before taking time to decide his move. It's from Laurie Whitwell, so it's reliable SF.
Reliable as fuck. Yeah. I don't know who his suitors would be. I would imagine Arsenal are probably looking at him. Obviously, City, no. Liverpool, no. Maybe Villa. Villa might take a look at him if Ollie Watkins decides to move on. Yeah. Forest might take a look at him. Chris Wood's unlikely to have the same season next season, isn't he? Let's be honest. He's never had a season like it before, but hey, credit where credit's due. Yeah, he's been on fire this season. So I think Forest maybe. Tottenham could take a look at him.
Yeah.
There are teams out there that could take a look at him. But I would imagine that if for whatever reason we're not in for Gyökeres doesn't come about. And what Jarvis was saying about everyone seems to be saying that Wilcox is a massive fan of Liam Delap. Maybe Liam Delap would take would come to us. Big lad, very strong, really is strong, very bad, great runner. I can't argue with his strike rate. I know Rushmano knows his strike rate, so I think it's about 11 or 12 Premier League goals this season, and a desperately woeful Ipswich team. So I don't know what we would pay for him. It wouldn't. We I agree with Mark. It can't be anything for me than 25, 30 mil. But as Mr. B says, any striker would be better than Rasmus. He's absolutely right. I would prefer a much better striker. I would like, Oshimin, I think guarantees you 20 goals. The interesting thing for me, though, that people are saying Oshimin just wants way, way, way too much money to come. I don't know whether or not we do get Gyökeres. I keep hearing he's close to Arsenal, but I don't know. So interesting.
Yeah. What is the devilish Tactico saying about the lap? You see,
a big no is what I can see.
Why do you think so? Why?
Jamie Wayne says
he's young, he's strong, he's Premier League proven. He scored 12, 15 goals this season. I don't know exactly, but and for a club like Ipswich, it's not the top club of the Premier League. They got relegated. His numbers looks great.
I think Rasmus Højlund's probably put off a lot of people on younger strikers. Forget Haaland. Just forget Haaland. He's just a different animal. But Højlund is probably putting people off. They want a more experienced striker. Somebody that can come in. Jared Bowen, as an example, probably get 12 to 15 goals. No messing. And he'll probably do 12 assists as well. Jared Bowen, no messing. So I think that's the fear element of it.
Yeah, and I don't blame them because Højlund has been an utter disaster when it comes to the Premier League, and we all were a little bit hyped when we signed him. He was the next Haaland. He scored a lot of goals for Denmark. Young, he looked like Haaland. It sounded like Haaland. We expected to get Haaland, and
it just hasn't happened. I mean, look, he could deliver Wednesday evening, and all is forgiven for 24 hours until we think, no more. But the guys are talking about Mateta. Mateta was superb yesterday. Even with that massive cut on his head. So, Ghostface is saying last time I checked with City, we're still after Gibbs White. And Reinders is looking for Wirtz, isn't he? Wirtz isn't looking so hot at the moment. So that's interesting. Gibbs White, brilliant signing that'll be for City. Great signing. Reinders as well. But I tell you, Rodrigo, he's on a free, isn't he? Real, he's on a free?
No, he's not on a free, is he?
Are you sure? I thought he was coming to. I thought he's only then got a year left of his contract. I know he's not got.
Okay. Yeah. So Rosmano just sent me this. It's just an update on the Delap thing. It's from Laurie with the whole United whole face-to-face talk with Liam Delap granted permission by Ipswich.
Yes, Mark.
Yeah.
Transfer request not free.
Transfer request,
for Rodrigo,
So Rosmano sent me this whole face-to-face talk, discussed transfers with all suitors, including Chelsea, before making a call. And also this came up from Ben Jacobs, also an update to beloved on Liam Delap, who's meeting suitors ahead of making a decision on his future ahead of the under-21 Euros, which starts in Slovakia in June 11th. So,
well, we've got that small bite, haven't we? We've got that small window bite at the end of May to before the World Club Cup. So we just got that small window bite, haven't we? So got to take in. A lot of clubs, I think, will do a lot of business in the first week of June.
Well, I think that's it from the transfer news. Yeah, we can do this one too before we wrap it up and go back to the Europa League final and break down the tactics. And this is from United Truthful. Premier League remains the most likely outcome from Victor Gyökeres. And Manchester United strongly interested for the fee of £55 million. I think we all would like Gyökeres at the moment, don't you think?
Yeah, look, we know. Look, the good thing about Gyökeres is that you know pretty much what you're going to get with him. But delivering in Portugal is different to delivering in the Premier League. Nunes, Liverpool has proven that. It's been a couple of years. He just hasn't found that consistency. I'd love to see Gyökeres come in and find that consistency, but we are going to need a striker that hasn't got 12 games to find that consistency, Jarvis. He's got to find a game. And that's the pressure of being a Manchester United number 9. Rude did, no problem. Andy Cole didn't. But then he became consistent. He learned to become consistent. Gyökeres, for next season, if he comes in, has got to be consistent from day one.
Yeah,
we haven't got the luxury of bedding him in because Højlund's not going to score alongside him. So whoever comes in has got to hit that ground running immediately. So the Cunha signing is particularly important based on that as well.
Yeah, Rashmano. I've seen the Zirkzee info. I will bring it up. Thank you, Rashmano. Trevor Way comes in and say Gyökeres was a failure in England. This is a long time ago. I think he has developed as a player, and most strikers don't shine until they're mid to late 20s. Because it's a tough role. You have to be both physically and you have to be mentally smart, and you have to adapt and learn your game. You have to do the right choices all the time to be a goal-scoring striker, because the level of football today is...
You've got to get in there. You have to get in there. You've got to do what he doesn't want to do, Højlund, and you've got to hit that 6-yard box, hit the 6-yard mark. May I remind you all that the great Sir Harry Maguire scored most of his goals within and around the 6-yard box recently.
Nash comes in with a point here. What's your thoughts on this one? You say, guys, it's becoming so apparently that we have 0 transfer strategies if we bring in Gyökeres. It's been Ten Hag 2.0 and signing your own players. We can't keep signing ex-players hoping to recreate it. That's a good point.
There's a lot of merit to it. There's a lot of merit to that.
Yeah.
For sure. Yeah, a lot of merit to it.
Yeah, and we know he's linked to Arsenal. See Mick coming in and say Arsenal will sign Benjamin Sesko. It's at least what Mick's sources is telling him. But.
Yeah, it's interesting because Sesko's been he's been linked for years, hasn't he? Didn't we look at him when he was about 18, 19? How old he is now, but he's been around and linked to the Premier League for a long, long time. So, yeah, it'll be interesting to see if they go for Sesko.
Yeah. So I want to bring up the Zirkzee comment that Rashmano sent me. Thank you, Rashmano. Let me just update because here we go. It's from Sully Talks, reliable source according to Rashmano, and you say understanding Josh Zirkzee has a good chance of making the Europa League final squad. He's also traveling and has been in team training in recent days, and he's worked hard in his rehab. And if we were to make it, it's said that he would be on the bench.
Interesting.
Is that good news?
Well, yes. I mean, we need players back, don't we? We need a caliber of player. Zirkzee was playing some good stuff before he got injured. We missed him in many ways with his cuteness and his ability to beat players and run with the ball. So with Zirkzee on the bench, If you got Delap coming back on the bench, you got Dalot potentially coming back. Will he start? Will he be on the bench? Those are three big players for us. So we need this. We need this squad depth. So I think it'd be great, brilliant to see some of them coming back just at the right time. But don't go on a pre-season tour, on the post-season tour. Stay at home and take the kids.
Yeah, Josh Zirkzee, he's decent, and Rashmani also say he's a decent option as a sub. I don't know. I think he looked really heavy when he just arrived from Bologna to
I
Man
think he was
United.
a
It
bit
took him a
heavy.
lot of
Yeah,
time
he was a bit heavy.
to get into shape. I'm not sure if I trust his match fitness at the moment since he's been injured for a long time. But it's they do physical tests and they know their level. So if they play him, he will probably be fit. And
Yeah,
if you're
absolutely.
coming in, big up if you're good to see you. Say with all
If you-
these links and speculations, we ain't signing more than 4 players. Yeah, at least 4 established players, but I think we will sign a lot of fringe players, young players,
Don't
unknown
forget,
players also.
we got the Paraguayan left back, and we're coming in already in the summer. So
Leon,
that's the one coming in, Leon. Yeah, so that's
yeah,
one.
yeah. Who else? I saw a new face here in the chat. Gamer TV coming in. Big up Gamer TV. Big up lads. Good to see you, Gamer. Good to see you, and welcome to the show. Yeah. Is there any? Yeah, we had this one. As you mentioned, a lot of players are back. Lenny Yoro and Diogo Dalot are ready for the final. It will come down to Amorim and the fitness team to decide. And you also mentioned Josh Zirkzee and Delict. So yeah, it could be a good bench, really good bench.
Oh, we could have a great bench, and I think that's what we need. Big up, Ben. I think that's what we need. We need that fucking bench. It's what we need. We need power and strength.
I mean, those Spurs, they don't have any bench. They have a lot of injuries.
They're struggling. They are, struggling.
Yeah. So let's have a look at this. I don't know. Let's talk a little bit about the starting 11. We mentioned it on the last shows too, and I don't know. We know now that a lot of players are back. So this is what I got so far. I haven't looked too hard into it, but Onana, Maguire, Lindelof, Luke Shaw, Dorgu, Masraoui, Bruno, Casemiro, Ahmad, Mount, and Højlund. Do you think that will be the starting 11, or do you see Amorim doing differently?
I think if Yoro's fit, if he's fit, I think Yoro comes in for sure.
Okay. Not Luke Shaw.
That was for sure rather than for sure.
For sure. For sure.
For sure.
For sure.
Sure. For SURE rather than SH. I think he comes in for sure, probably over Lindelof. And if Dalot's fit, I think Shaw drops out and Dalot plays.
You think so? You will start Dalot, right?
If he's fit, yeah, I think he will. If he's match fit, I think he will. I'd be great to look. You've got one game. You've got one chance to win a final. You have one chance. If Dalot says, "I can do you 60 minutes, Gaffer," you probably play him over Lindelof, don't you?
And people are coming in and say Dorgu must not start.
Yeah, so we've seen a lot of this recently.
Yeah, who was it that mentioned we could actually try to do something
Luke
else?
Shaw.
We could go with Luke Shaw on the left wing back.
Yeah.
Dorgu on the bench and start Lenny Yoro.
Lenny Yoro, maybe. Yeah.
That's actually a decent shout.
Won't happen.
No, you don't. No,
it won't happen. But I mean,
yeah.
It could well be Mazzari pops into right centre half. So it's Yoro, Shaw, Mazzari, Dalot, Dorgu. He'll play Dorgu, Bruno, Casemiro. Everything else probably is right, I would say. For me, it's a question of bringing Yoro back in and probably Dalot. That's why I think if Dalot's fit enough, I think he'll do that.
Yeah, I can bring up this where Stu's tactics for the final, and as you see, just want to prefer Casemiro in the single pivot, Bruno a little bit ahead, and Højlund in front of that again, and the
Yeah, that was
running
my
patterns
tactical
for the
side.
number 10s.
That was my tactical side, not the starting 11. It was tactical, the way I want us to play. He won't do that, by the way. We all know that, but that's what I would like him to do. But I would say take Lindelof out, Yoro stays in, Mazzari goes to right centre half. Yeah, Dalot comes in. You probably haven't got him written down.
Where's Dalot? No, I haven't. Number 1, Dalot.
Yeah.
Do you like this? Okay, so we see Dalot, Luke Shaw, and
so Luke Shaw wouldn't play, so it'd be Dorgu, wouldn't it?
Yeah. Okay.
Look, we know Dorgu's going to play, and that would do it. I can't see us going with a false 9, guys. Trevor, I can't see him running a false 9. We did discuss it. Myself, Jarvis, and Mick. We did discuss. Yeah, but I just can't see it happening. But who knows? Who knows?
Dave also say if we play with a false 9, it has to be Bruno. But for me,
you're taking away. You need him as an 8 at the minute.
Yeah, I think we need someone who can hit it long and find those diagonal runs, and to shift play from one side to the other, because we know that Spurs will try to go at us. They will go really aggressive, high line, as Postecoglou always go with, and we have to figure out a way to play ourselves out from the back. But we have to have that player with the second option to hit it long when needed, and that's why I would love for Bruno.
Cheers, Jamie. Yeah, we do. I mean, the guys are right. By the way, there's a lot. Shaw was just floated because we didn't know who we were going to have back at that particular time, which this was last week when we picked that 11, so we didn't know who we were going to have. We wouldn't obviously play Shaw. We'd play Yoro over Shaw.
I wouldn't be surprised if Luke Shaw starts.
Dorgu's our problem.
His experience.
Yeah, Dorgu is a problem for us right now.
Yeah,
and so is Højlund. So it's Dorgu and Højlund really are the 2 issues for us. So it's one of those. I know Mark Nurse wouldn't play mounted up Garnacho in place of Mount. Again, would you argue with that? Probably not, but I think Mount gives us a bit more flexibility, that's all.
And Baumann says you go for a 3-3-3-1. What's your philosophy? Transition, high press, counter-attack?
It's transition. It's to stop the. It's not a high press formation, Barman. It's transition. It's when you win the ball over, being able to turn the ball over and pushing up quickly. So it's transition and counter. It's not. It's not high press. I don't like high press, and we don't high press anyway. If you look at us, we don't tend to do that. It's based on transition and movement with counter attack in it. That's how I think we would be better off playing.
We are sitting on 37 likes. So if you haven't smashed the like already, now it's a time. Give us a like and subscribe if you're new to the channel. I just want to say, when it comes to this tactics, we talked a little bit about what will happen, and let's go back to the full board. Formation wise, they will set up in a 4-2-3-1 formation.
Yeah.
I remember when we met Spurs earlier, we met them 3 times this season. They tend to try to pin down our wingbacks a little bit deeper. And I don't know if you remember, Stu, when we played with Dalot and Masraoui on one side, and they both operated as fullbacks in a way, because they were so deep all the time. I don't know if you remember that.
It was a big problem for us in the game. We didn't, we didn't push the. One of the reasons why I like to play the way I like to play is that it enables you to push their fullbacks back as far as you can get them. But if you do lose possession, you've got a nice balance once you get back into position. So that's the way I like to play.
But the key is this communication between the wing back and the wide centre back, and they have to trust each other. And if Son goes in this area, you just have to trust, for example, Lindelof, the wide centre back, to do his job. Mazraoui to keep his position, because we saw always when Mazraoui was dragged down against Spurs last time. I don't know if you remember, they had James Maddison dropping in the zone, and Jay Spence always running in the channels.
And the problem for that was always been with Tottenham is turnover high up the pitch for them. We always lose the ball against them because we're always trying to dick about from the back. And sometimes, when you move Matsari into the middle, close to where Ahmad is, and you lob that nice little ball into a third of the way, you've got to make Son make a decision. Son has to make a decision. He's got to go back to help Matsari. So when you push it, then Matsari can lay out a lovely little ball off to Lindelof. And Lindelof's got all the time in the world to pop it into Casemiro or whoever, pop it into Ahmad. We can get around it. We just don't, because we knob about with this playing out from the back nonsense all the time. And Son's great at that. We got Neto on. I don't know why we got Neto. Is it because we couldn't spell Kulusevski?
No, he's not playing. I don't think.
No, I know. Is that because we couldn't play it? We couldn't spell Kulusevski. I think that's what it is, guys. Neto will do. Neto. That's his nickname, apparently. Isn't it?
Brendan Johnson. Brendan Johnson is the one.
Brendan Johnson. It'd be Brendan Johnson that will play.
Yeah. So let me just change. It's not Neto.
Yeah.
Johnson. Yeah. Okay. But my point is, when it comes to this is Postecoglou's tactics. It's Son's awareness when it comes to his movement, and he stays right in between the wide centre back and a wing back. And the problem is when the number 10, as we know with Maddison, drops in this pocket. When we defend with our wing backs, they keep position, but when the one of the wide players receive the ball, they are ready to jump. I don't know if you remember. That's how we play.
Yeah. Sorry, I was listening. Go
on. So the thing is, when they jump, you create a pocket here, and if you have like a Jet Spence coming on the inside, it's an easy ball from Spence and out to Son, for example. And if we block that pass, it's an easy ball for Spence to carry the ball into the danger area. So this little movement with the triangle, Son, Maddison, and Jet Spence in the last game gave us massive problems.
They did.
Coming from centrally out and from out in centrally.
Run my formation.
Yeah. Let me just get back to the starting. So you're going for the 3-1. Like, it's 3-3. So it's like this.
Yeah.
Okay. Yep. Okay.
No. So if you go back to, that's it. That's kind of nice. Okay. So the idea of that is put your put it back how you had it before with Tottenham.
Son is in between Lindelof and Mazraoui, making them to make a choice.
Yeah.
You have a doggy now, but let's say it was Jet Spence and the number 10 dropping out.
It's perfect. We want them there because look where we are. We got Lindelof, we got Ahmad, and we got Mazzari. You got Lindelof covering Son. You got Mazzari covering. Don't need him because you've got Casemiro, Bruno, Mount, Dorgu. You got everybody being able to cover. And don't forget, this is why we're not press sensitive. We're zonal pressing. It just makes it a bit easier for us to be able to move into zones, to pick up the man, pick up any stragglers. That's how and that's why I like that particular system.
You're building two zones for Bruno and Casemiro, the square and the circle.
Absolutely correct. Yeah. The circle is for the attacking element of Bruno. And it's also the defensive element of Bruno. That's what he crosses in. And that's what makes it difficult to beat. You're not particularly aggressive in them. You're kind of zonally pressing them, Jarvis. So every time you move into a zone, we've got somebody able to cover. And that's the reason why it could work. Not will work, but it could work. And what you were discussing earlier is absolutely right, Jarvis. But you can see how we can counter that better, set up the way that I want to set us up rather than the four across the middle. I'm not saying it'll work, guys. I'm not. But I'm saying it gives us more of a possibility because you push the Jed Spence run through now, Jarvis. Like you did. Push the Jed Spence through run. Bruno's going to block him.
Yeah.
Or Ahmad's going to stop him. So he's got to go across maybe to Porro.
But we tried to solve it last time we met Postecoglou by Bruno actually going all the way out with Maddison here. And then we had a huge pocket for Spence to run into.
He didn't need to do it, did he?
Yeah.
You put Bruno back to where he was, Ahmad back to where he was, didn't need to do it. You've got to make, all I'm saying is, on occasions, you've just got to make the guys think about what they're doing. Make them think, oh, fuck, I'm going into a dead end here, so I've got to go maybe out to Porro. As soon as the ball goes into Porro, Bruno moves more centrally. And then Mount can kind of, where Mount is at the moment, is perfect kind of, even if Basuma runs off him, Bruno can then push across. You've got Casemiro would take Bentancur. It's just a way of pushing men onto men, basically.
Yeah. But I think we struggled a lot of the time because of Udogie or Jed Spence, Maddison, Son, the movement, how they managed to drag and empty our central area of the pitch.
It is a big call, by the way. I agree, Dave. I 100% agree with you, mate. It's a massive call. And me and Jarvis were only what me and Jarvis are trying to do is just offer a different idea. I think it is a big call, and there's no way Jarvis is going to use it. There's no way he's going to use it. But we just wanted to make a suggestion of a potential counter against the way the Tottenham play. That's all.
I don't know if you remember this. I have some footage from that Spurs game last time we met them. It's not exactly the same situation, but you see Bruno here with the circle, and you have Maddison.
Where you said he was going to be. Is it if you go back to the tactical board?
Yeah,
you had Bruno moved exactly where he is. You had Bruno moved exactly where he is. So you were making that point. Forget my system now. You were just making that point where Bruno was, and you're absolutely right. He was, and there's your proof.
Yeah, but if you look, if you come with the second run and you move, it's about manipulating Bruno out of the position, the shielding of the number 6. And as soon as you do that, you are in trouble because then the move will come. So
this is why you rely on Ahmad a little bit. On my system, you rely on Ahmad a little bit, but on this case, we don't have that. Sorry, I know what you mean.
Yeah. So let's run through it. I'm not sure where this will bring us. It's just my intuition tells me there's something here. So let's just run with it. And now you see Bruno vacating his position.
Way out of position, yeah.
Udogie is coming here, and you see the stretch between Casemiro and Bruno. And suddenly we have problems because they managed to manipulate Bruno out of the shielding role for Casemiro. Yeah. And if you look this going further, a lot of space to run into. And it creates a chance. So this is what we have to avoid this when it comes to the game.
You're talking about the drag though, aren't you?
Yes.
So you're talking about me watching you, realizing you're the danger player and pushing out of position and not telling anybody. And as soon as you push out of position, you've got a massive square to run into. I totally agree. I totally agree.
So I think we just have to really figure out how to solve this when it comes to the game. And I'm 100% sure Postecoglou will try to overload one side or another to try to drag one of our central players out and come with deep runs from the wing.
I've solved it. I've shown you. I solved it.
You did.
I'm kidding. I'm joking. Barman wants to know what Højlund's position is in this arrangement? So it's a great question. Ideally, Barman, in something like that, this is where you need Højlund to be strong. He needs to be the hold-up player. He needs to be the one that can allow the runners, i.e. Ahmad and Mount or Ahmad and Garnacho, off his shoulders with Bruno supporting. So he supports a 4. That includes, obviously, Højlund. But the problem with this system is, or any system that we're playing with him at the minute, he hasn't got that ability. So that's how I would want our striker to do it. Somebody like Mateta, for example, would be brilliant, because the way that Palace constructed their goal yesterday was Mateta holding the ball up, dropping it back into, I think it might have been Wharton or wherever it was, or Eze. The ball then pushed across to the fullback. Fullback makes strides, puts it in the box, and the Eze comes running in from deep and side foots a volley home. I might say Sir Harry Maguire-esque, if you saw the goal. Sir Harry Maguire. But look, Barman, you know as well as I do, mate, we haven't got the striker to do that. So.
No, we don't. If we go back a little bit to the tactical board, we have Nasri Zakaria coming in saying big up Jarvis. And by the way, I overlooked something. We got a membership for 2 months, Rashmano, with the membership super chat, if you can call it. And they say smash a like and subscribe. It helps the channel.
Thank you very much, Rashmano.
Thank you, Rashmano. You are such a legend. I can't say enough how I appreciate all the help you give us and that support. And people smash the like. We are currently on, let's see, we are on 39 likes. Come on, let's
well, just try and get to 50, please.
40. Yeah. So Nasrin Zakaria, big up. Good to see you. I want to go back to the tactical board, and we talked a little bit about Højlund, and let me just explain what I mean about why we need a player like Højlund, because it's about, I talked about this a lot of the times. Let's say we are trying to play out from the back. You have the Chelsea game fresh in mind. We all saw how we tried, and you know, the Chelsea manager and Postecoglou are not too dissimilar. They think they like the high intense press and try to commit a lot of men in the press, and Spurs will do the same. They will commit a lot of men. And if we are able to hold on to the ball, play the ball from one side to the other, zigzag our way back to the other side again, Spurs will be impatient when they press. And there will be a space, and the space will be around here. So if Højlund is able to drop down this pocket, separate from one of his center backs, because we know Højlund can't receive the ball under pressure. He needs to be able to separate, do a dummy run a little bit higher or to one side, and then go in. Then we could be able to play the ball over the first press line of Spurs. And they will probably commit something like maybe as much as 7 to 8 men. And just rely on the center backs to keep hold. And as soon as Højlund, if he can play the ball sideways, a 1-2, play it, a bounce pass back to Casemiro, there is a chance for us to play the zones. And we know we talked about the zone 16 and zone 18. It's here. So it's these zones, and this is where we want to hold up our play. So play the ball into the zones, and then we have diagonal runs from our number 10s to receive the ball, or even Højlund can go here, hold up the ball, and then we can come with 2 waves. First wave of men dragging Spurs' defenders down, and the second wave with Casemiro, Bruno, and we know we can play the cutback pass and get a big goal-scoring chance. So this is, I think, what Amorim is trying to create, and I want to see more of this. But it depends on our number 9 to be able to separate, to drop down, receive the ball, bounce it off, or play it sideways, and then go with the second wave.
Look, you know, we do need to do that. We've not really demonstrated that all season.
No.
Certainly the last few games. So I'd like to see us go for it. I want to see us take the game by the scruff of the neck early doors and really hammer Spurs. Physically, ball retention, our playability, our passing, and go out and win the game 2-0. That's what I want to see. But you just don't know what you're going to get with half of these players, and that's the problem.
No, and Rich coming in, Red Devils United. Big up, Rich. I hope your show went well tonight. Coming in and say, any option for playing without Højlund? We touched on this a little bit earlier in the show, but give him a quick recap, Stu. What's your thoughts?
Our thoughts are, if you play without Højlund and you run Bruno as a false nine, you're going to take Bruno's best attributes at the moment. That is playing him as an 8, a deep lying, progressive midfielder. Our only so we think 100% he'll play with Højlund. If Cunha was in the squad, then we could do without Cunha, and we could do without Højlund, and we could push Cunha further up and run Cunha as an 8 to 10, 8 to 9, quite comfortably. But we don't have those players, so I don't see it, Rich. You know your football. I know you know your football. No, I can't see it, mate. I'm sorry.
No, that's my biggest worry. So in a way, we rely on Højlund to win this game and his movement, being able to separate, doing something with the ball, staying on his feet, at least.
Well, he's got to stay on his feet. Yeah, he'll play. He'll play.
Yeah. Also, a tactical question from Nasrin Zakaria coming in. And should Ugarte and Casemiro start at double pivot?
Not for me. Again, you take Bruno out of that 8 position. We have problems. He's better, and he's proven in the last few weeks he's better coming from deep. I understand your question, Nasrin, and it's a great question. But maybe a few weeks ago, when Casemiro was re-finding his feet, I think he needed Ugarte to help him find his feet in the Premier League. But I think now it needs to be Casemiro, Bruno. No pivot. It needs to be Casemiro, then Bruno, with a license to move within an attacking and a defensive perspective.
And it's also, it's all about the long ball, the direct ball, the through ball, the key pass, and coming from the deep. Because I don't trust Casemiro entirely when it comes to doing this, and I think we need a play like Bruno. Ideally, we should have Bruno in the 10 and in the 8 at the same time, but that's impossible. We only have one Bruno. And Eriksen, he's the only passer I can think of actually making that pass from deep, but he don't have any legs left in him, so we can't play Eriksen either. So he will be a liability when it comes to defensively and covering ground. So we are out of options. And I don't see Ugarte actually having the ability to play a long ball.
No.
There's nothing more to say.
No, it was an easy one, that one.
Yeah. So is there anything else we should look out for in the finals, do you think, when it comes from the tactical battle between Postecoglou and Amorim?
No, like I say, I want to see Amorim do something a bit different. I want him to upset Postecoglou's mental rhythm. I don't want Postecoglou going in and saying we know how that United are going to play, and I want us to prove him wrong. Ten Hag did it, against City in the final last season, and look what happened. We come away winning the game. It does happen on occasions when you try something different and you give it a go. And even if you flummox the opposition for 20, 25, 30 minutes, if you make that 30 minutes count, then you've taken 30 minutes worth of steam out of them, and then you've really got to capitalise on it. So I just want to see. I think we've got a Tottenham fan, by the way.
Yeah, that's okay. That's okay. I'm quite interested in hearing the Spurs fans' opinions.
I think he's a Tottenham fan. I can't work it out. or he's talking about Manchester United. Tottenham are winning. I don't know if he's a Spurs fan or a United fan. Good to see you anyway, Aidan. If that's
He's sure a Spurs fan. He say our defense is so shit.
Where should we disrupt Spurs and overload the ball in the final third? Coming from deep, Bartman. I'd like us to come from deep, but we're ultra reliant, by the way, on the ability of Højlund to hold it and allow our players to come in and help him. That's the best way to overload them in that kind of middle third area. So you're pulling the two centre halves apart, and you're giving their wing backs problems or their full backs problems. So we're pushing Porro back as far as we can. We're pushing Ben Davies back if it's Ben Davies as far as we can. But we're absolutely ripping the two centre halves to pieces. You know, we're creating that through that big area. As Jarvis talks about all the time, area 14, we're cutting a right hole through the middle. That's the best way to disrupt Spurs.
Yes. Area 14 for you.
Man United fan. Good to see you, mate. Great to have us. Great to have you on board, mate.
So this is area 14 that we talk about.
So if you've got, say it's Romero and Van der Ben, if it is them two, you know, we need them apart. We need them. You know, Højlund's got to be occupying in and around the area. Yeah, he's got to be occupying one of them, and let's get in. You know, 1-on-1 against Rocario,
and try to push them as deep as possible. In any occasion, try to clear this zone and open it up. But we also need the runners from the number 10s, like Ahmad, like Mount, pushing them back. Same with Dogu, keeping the width. Same with Masraoui. And then we come with what I call the second wave of players. And we've seen the cutback pass so many times. That's actually a pattern now that we see.
It seems to be a pattern.
Yeah.
That's what we've got to see. That's what I'm looking at, Barman. I hope so. But you know, it'll be interesting to see what he does. Dave 147 thinks that it'll be Garza and Casemiro, so that'll be quite interesting.
I wouldn't like that. No, and for me, it tells me that Amorim has no consistency. Why has he been playing Bruno in the number 8 in the last couple of games right before the final? It doesn't make sense for me. But you know. And I wouldn't like to see. I'd like to see Casemiro and Bruno, but it'd be interesting to see what he does. We'll obviously get a better idea tomorrow, won't we? Genghis, good to see you. We'll obviously get a better idea tomorrow, won't we? When he does his press conference tomorrow evening. Tyrone coming in, same question we have heard a couple of times, but yeah, I think we all feel the same. We are worried about Højlund if he starts the final, and we'd rather use, for example, Mason Mount as a false 9. Yeah, but I don't think Amorim will go down that path, especially in the final. No. I saw a good comment here from Bath Time coming in, and it was about the gene of Fergie. This one, has Amorim got that Pep Fergie gene of doing crazy stuff in the final? You know, overthinking, or going rogue.
Yeah, I'd like to see him do it by time. You know, there are times where, you know, Fergie would run 2 or 3 different types of systems during a match. You know, Guardiola has done it in the past. I'd like to see Amorim do it. You know, I want to see him do it. As I say, the element of surprise is maybe only 20, 25 minutes, but it was enough to beat City at home, and it was enough to beat City at Wembley.
Okay, yeah. Little bit more about transfers. Benjamin Sesko remains on Manchester United's radar, but a move for Osimhen is not expected from Ben Jacobs. Yeah, as I think we will be linked to at least 10 different strikers.
Yeah.
Or anything happens.
I think so too.
Yeah. On the final, guys, how do you feel? Are you confident? Are you optimistic? Do you think we can actually do this? And if we do, what will the final result be? If you look into the crystal ball late Wednesday night, when I and Stu are here breaking down the game tactically.
Or
Our
crying,
reaction.
or crying, raging. We might not, if we've been beaten, we might not come on yet. It might be, oh, fuck it. Forget it. But enough.
Jamie Wayne, he's nervous as F.
There's a lot
Yeah.
of people. I've seen a lot of tweets today from people saying they haven't been this nervous for a game in a long, long time. Nerves is good. Nerves is good.
You know, I feel confident in 1 second, and the next second I feel that we will lose.
I'm confident.
Right now, you are.
Yeah, you've got to go into every game knowing thinking you're going to win. You have to. So I think we win. I'm going for a 2-0 win.
Rich coming in and say 55-45 confident, just hoping injuries and pressure affect Spurs. Yeah, we know
Yes.
Spurs. They are Spursy. They can. They don't tend to win
Spurs are a
finals.
funny team, but at this point in time, when you look at Spurs' last 5 games, no wins. Our last 5 games, in the Premier League, no wins. Somebody's got to win.
Yeah. What if it all goes down to penalties? Who will be the hero? Flappy Hands or Vicario?
Well, I think if it goes down to penalties, you'd switch Onana out for Bayern, wouldn't you? And maybe give us a chance. I don't know.
You would think so. But I was actually remember last time when we were in the Europa League final, I was shouting to Ollie, bring Henderson in.
Yes, he didn't.
No. So, yeah. Dave is confident 2-1 win United.
Well done, Dave.
Time.
Well done.
Bad time. I'm hoping it's mostly a 1-0 game of all time. It's such a huge turning point if we win or lose.
Yes, he's right. 1-0.
Is this the game of the decade?
Is this the game of the decade for us?
Yeah.
No, it's just another trophy in the bulging trophy cabinet for us, isn't it? For Tottenham,
it will affect our way forward massively.
It'll affect our financial situation, but I don't know, because if we win, then half the team's getting broken up anyway, win or lose. So,
yeah.
Mark Nurse, by the way, I saw 6-2.
Mark is always overconfident. Mark, come on, 6-2. Oh well,
that is exceptionally confident. That is.
Yeah. Ghostface 50-50. It's Spurs, and y'all know the jokes, but at the same time, it's United. Anything is possible. Yeah,
correct, Ghostface.
Perfectly.
Seamix is in the house, dude. Seamix is in the house.
Oh, big up, Smeeks. Big up. Good to see you, my friend. I saw your show earlier today. Great show. How you brought it all down. It's Amorim's tactics are so fascinating. Yeah. What's Samik saying? You say, well, it might be the game of the decade because the transfer implication might be catastrophic. Yeah, that's what I was heading for when I asked you this question.
Yeah.
And by the way, people go to Samik's channel. Great tactical channel. I learned so much. I know nothing about football, but this guy, he knows his ball, and he brings it. He breaks it down very, very elegantly, easy to understand.
The great thing about football, Jarvis, is there is no right or wrong way, and that's the best of it. Everybody views football differently, and we all see it differently. We all like different aspects of the game, and so there's no right or wrong way, dude. It is what it is.
Tyrone, he will check out Samik's football. Yes, do that. It's a great channel, so go subscribe to Samik's. Do we want to do a quick Q&A? We have a lot of questions coming in.
Yeah, let's do a quick Q&A. Yeah, and
yeah, but I didn't say my prediction for the game, by the way. And
no, give us your prediction. Yes. And get off that fence. You're not allowed on any fence.
I'm not sure if it's going to be a high-scoring game or not. Mainly because our inability to score and take care of chances. And I worry that Spurs will score easily on us. We will get 1-0 down. But I know when desperation mode sets in, and especially in the Europa League, we can actually do this. So let me go for a high-scoring result. 3-2 Man United. There you go.
3-2. Whoa, that is a high-scoring result.
Yeah. You never know. Højlund hat-trick or something
Well,
crazy.
Maguire hat-trick. So Harry Maguire. A noggin, a left and a right. He'll score the perfect hat-trick. So Harry Maguire.
Yeah. Let's go to the Q&A. Guys, get your questions in. We already have at least 10, 11 questions lined up. Get your questions in. Try to keep them relevant to the Europa League final, or, what the heck. Just bring your questions, whatever you want to talk about, So let's play the intro and start the Q&A.
Welcome to the Q&A. First of all, there's 182 of you watching.
Yes,
please
great numbers
on Twitter or X, and like and subscribe. We would love to get to 1,000 before the start of next season. Subscribers mean a hell of a lot to Jarvis and a hell of a lot to myself. So thank you very much. Thank you for all the questions. Thank you for joining in as well, guys. Let's kick off.
Yep.
Big Trev Wade is in with a question. We kind of already answered this, Trev, so we'll be brief on this one. If Amorim wins or loses on Wednesday, where do you rank the season? Shocking is the only word I can come up with, pal. Look, we all want to win a trophy. 3 seasons, 3 trophies. It would be absolutely brilliant. I think we've appeared in finals, like I say, the last 7 years at least. I think we've got 5 trophies minimum out of those 7 years. So, let's just keep rolling as long as we can, and keep the trophies coming in. But shocking season. You can't finish 16th in the Premier League.
No. Rank it 1 to 10. It's a 1. Or
1.
Well, a relegation would be a 1, so I will give it a 2.
Yeah, definitely not great. Trev, hope that's answered your question. You come in with quite a few actually, Trev, so let's see what we've got down here. I'll just answer this. Can I recommend anything from the Chinese menu, as is a connoisseur of Mandarin? Maybe duck a l'orange. I am basic, Trev, when it comes to Chinese. I'm a chicken, green peppers and black bean sauce, and boiled rice. Lovely. It's one of my favourites. That is one of my favourites. Jarvis, quick one. What's your Chinese tipple?
What's the sauce? The red sauce, sweet and sour.
Sweet and sour, yes.
Sweet and sour sauce, pork and vegetables.
Yeah. A bit of sweet and sour pork and veg. Okay, nice. Pop your Chinese favourites in the chat, guys. We'd love to know. Mick, cheers, Trev. Mick comes in with a question. Can it be the plan to signing Gyökeres and play Delap as a left number 10 shadow striker? So I think he's looking at playing Gyökeres as a 9 and then a kind of floating striker behind him. Jarvis, what do you think of that?
No, absolutely not. I don't think that won't happen. Not in an Amorim system. I think it's really rigid when it comes to how he wants to set up the team. He has a clear idea and a philosophy how he wants to play, and I think but put it. I know Samik is here, so Samik, please, if I'm wrong, tell me. But it's not that complicated. If you play with 3 and you have 2 up front in front of them, one of them is always able to drop down and one is able to move up. So in a way, you play with an extra man who can drop down from any any position from both the right and the left. So you can create an overload, depends on the side the game is on. And the same with the two number 10s. You have always two options, but one of them will move up as the striker, and one of them will drop a little bit down to be on the receiving end. So you always have two options in this system, and that's what I like about it in a way. Did you understand what I was trying to say there, Stu?
You're talking about a rotational 3, is what you're talking
Yes.
about.
Well,
So,
but you have like the
so,
three, but you have two and two, and both of them can rotate, and
yeah.
both of them can rotate.
So the idea of a front three, one for the better phrase, 2 10s and a 9, is that they can rotate. Yeah, they can rotate in a circle. So that what you've got in terms of Gyökeres, for example, is equally competent on the left, equally competent on the right, as well as through the middle. So when you've got a central striker, 2 10s, I don't know, 2 8s, one for the better phrase, whatever you want to call it, it's the rotational aspect of it, which is always done in a circular motion. It doesn't look like it on the pitch because it's a much bigger circle, but ultimately what we don't have with Højlund is that rotational element to his game. He won't rotate. He will gravitate occasionally to the left. He will gravitate occasionally to the right, but there's not the rotation that you need. So the Bruno position, I talk about that circle. It's a rotational circle. That's from the forward side to the defensive side. It's exactly the same. I don't like 2 10s that go like that. I like the 3 to operate centrally and rotate nicely. It's the best way to have a floating 3. If you go back to the Ronaldo, the Tevez, and the Rooney days, that is the best example of a front 3 that rotate brilliantly. So Rooney would also operate on the left. Ronaldo would operate on the right, Tevez through the middle. And then 5 minutes later, Tevez is on the right, Ronaldo's through the middle, Rooney's on the left. That's a rotational 3, and that's what we need.
Yeah.
Could Delap do that, I guess, is what he was saying. I don't know. Probably not.
Yeah, but this was actually what we were talking about, even when it comes to Spurs and the Son, Madison, Jed Spence rotation, and how they actually opened up, carved us open a lot of times last time we met Spurs. So it's also defensively we need to be aware when it comes to these rotations. But yeah, it's a good question. Good question.
Yeah, you got it. Yeah, it is. Great question. Rich, again, yeah, we've covered this one. Any option of playing without Højlund? No, not for me.
No, as we mentioned, but we was jokingly talked about Maguire, but not for maybe the last 10 minutes if we need a goal, but
yeah,
we can't start because we need someone to be able to separate from the center back, drop down, be the playmaker, lay it off, and then start the second wave of attack, carry the ball or pass it into the zones and hold up the ball in 16, 18 as Samix likes to call it. So yeah,
absolutely. But as we always like to say, United Stone got that from us. Always remember that. You heard it here first. What we want to do. Jamie's in with a question. It's a good question as well. Jarvis, is Onana a good shot stopper or poor ball parrier? I think you've answered your question actually in that question, pal. But Jarvis, it will answer you this.
I'm no goalkeeper expert, but I know that much as if you make a shot on Onana, you don't give the ball straight out into the danger zone. You know, we have flappy hands, but then you flap it away from the goal.
Flap it away.
But Onana all the time, and he's an accident waiting to happen because his goalkeeping technique is so poor. It's so bloody poor. You know, that guy, he doesn't think how he position his body, how he uses his arms. It's terrible to watch. And why we signed him in the first place right now when I know more about Onana, I can't understand what our scouts were thinking. He looks so poor in everything he's doing from a tactical point of view as a goalkeeper. And you know, if he covers the first post, if the shot comes on the floor, he can't use his feet. One way or another, he tries to save with his arms when there's no time and no reaction time. And you know, how to how to clear the ball with one arm. He can't do that. He always give the rebound straight out. So many things when it comes to Onana. So for me, I think we're better off signing a new goalkeeper straight away at the beginning of the transfer window and say bye-bye to Andre Onana, because he's a terrible goalkeeper.
That well explained. Look, from a defensive point of view, you're always jittery when a shot comes in, because you constantly got to be prepared to get back in and stop this foil or foiling attempt on goal. When Onana's parried it, unfortunately, you'll notice that when that happens, we're too slow. We don't react quick enough. And that's because the defenders are doing the right thing. They're facing out rather than facing in. When you're facing out because you're expecting your keeper to pick the ball up and get you going again, you want to be out in that box, not in the box. And the problem is we're too deep in. There's no chance of anyone being offside, even from a cutback, because we're too deep. And we're closing the gap and the space off between Onana and the attacker. And it doesn't give the defenders enough time to react. It's fucking he's abysmal, Jamie.
We talked about this on after the Chelsea game,
yeah.
and this is Onana's technique. Look at him. Where do you put the rebound? In the danger area. Here.
Look at us.
All the way out here. This is where the ball should go.
Yeah.
Well, let me just do it so you see it better. This way, but not here. Not here in the danger area. Luckily for us, this was an offside, so the goal was disallowed. Yeah. But again,
And Enzo missed it as well by a country mile, didn't he?
Yeah, but this is my biggest fear in the final. If I was Postecoglou, I would tell my players, take shots all the time.
Yeah. Don't answer that. Don't say that now, because we've got a question on that, which you can answer. So let me dig that question out. Here we go. Ramade and Mertar, exactly that. Do you worry about the defence in the final?
I really worry about Onana. That's my biggest worry. But we also have, Maguire has mistakes in him when the tough gets going. Luke Shaw has mistakes in him. Lindelof has mistakes in him. There's a lot of these players I don't trust, especially put under pressure, because they're not astute footballers. They're not technically astute. They don't have the ability to play under pressure, and we see they stress out. And Lindelof, Maguire, same. As long as they can stand with the ball, play in front of them, they are good. But if they're turning the wrong way, they're in trouble. So, and we know the Spurs will commit a lot of people. So it could end really badly for us.
You're right. It's a good question, Aidan, because the biggest art to defend is actually trusting the goalkeeper. The trust that he will cover that 10 yards quicker than you will. Trust that he will be exactly where you need him to be when you expect him to be. And Onana is none of those. I think the biggest problem we've got is our defenders do not trust him, instead of trying to clear everything themselves. And that's when mistakes happen. If you have got a trust in your goalkeeper, you know that he's going to come and take a cross. You just need to position your body to stop the attacker from getting there so that the keeper can come and claim it. If you are worried about the keeper coming to claim it and he's not there, then you've got to make that judgment and choice. And that's where we're making mistakes. We're making mistakes by stepping out too far occasionally, not holding the line occasionally, because, in days gone by, the goalkeeper, when a corner's coming in or a cross is coming in, he's trying to command his 6-yard box, and Arna commands his line. We had the issue with David De Gea commanding his line too much at the end of his career, and that's a big problem for us. So it's a great question, and the answer is I'm with Jarvis on that one. I'm a little bit worried about that, but I still think we keep a clean sheet. Aidan, question,
Stu, I just want to bring out this. Let me just explain. I have a theory when it comes to the final. I forgot about it, but now when you talked about it, it made me think, because we saw in the Chelsea game, actually, when we were trying to play ourselves out from the back, and Chelsea, they committed a lot of men. instead of playing the ball over the first line of press to a Højlund dropping down, being unable to separate from his centre back and do something with the ball, we stopped doing that. And a lot of the time, the balls went over the press to our wing backs.
Yeah.
Here and here. And I think that's a way for Amorim trying to make this play, because as soon as we receive the ball here, we have seen with Amorim in the Sporting system, we try to play the channels from this area, or we play inside and then out. So there is an option playing the wing backs to play over the press.
Yeah.
And maybe we will see more of that. So it will be a key in the final for Onana to actually be precise when he plays out from the back and to find the wing backs.
Agreed.
Yeah.
I agree with you on that. Good stuff. Good stuff. Samix has a question. The question is, Delap or Gyökeres? And if Wilcox wants Delap and we end up getting him, if he doesn't perform well and we don't win, should we sack Wilcox or Amorim?
Ooh. I'll give it to you, Stu.
Yeah, cheers. I knew you'd give me that one. Well, I'm in it for the long haul with Amorim, Samix. I think he needs next season and possibly even at least 6 months the following season as well. For me, Amorim and Wilcox have got to find a way of working together better. There seems to be this disconnect between the two of them. I think you're absolutely right. Delap is definitely a Wilcox signing. I think it's well documented. And Amorim is obviously a Gyökeres signing. Now, can we expect Gyökeres to come in and hit the ground running? I said he needs to. He can't afford a 12-game barren spell for the first 12 games. We can't afford it. Would Delap offer a 12-game barren spell in the first 12 games? Probably not, because he scored 13 goals in the Premier League. Gyökeres hasn't. I think Amorim knows why he wants Gyökeres. I think he's sold to the board why he wants Gyökeres. And Wilcox has equally decided what he sees in Delap and what he wants to tell to the board about Delap. So should we sack Wilcox or Amorim? Definitely not Amorim. But would you give Wilcox a chop? Probably not either. So my answer would be neither. But great question. It's a really good question. Difficult one to answer.
Yeah. Question. But obviously. Yeah, but it made me think. But actually, it's if Amorim fails, it's because of Wilcox's transfer strategy, signing his players, not Amorim's players. And it's a great point. But we know who will be the guy that the fans will blame. It will be Amorim who
Amorim will get it. But you've got to push this. You've got to work together in this time, and it needs to be one or the other. It needs to be I set the system, Amorim, and that's it. Or Amorim sets the system, that's it. It can't be both. And there's your problem. So we've got to move away from the disconnects. So Nick, I hope that answers your question. I probably sat on the fence a little bit there for you too much, pal, but I hope you get what I was saying. Story. What's up, Jack and Ori? As coming in. I hope you're still with us. Great to have you on board. What about setting up Ghana against Romero? Romero is a ticking time bomb. Match like this, big red potential. Great theory, that is. Brilliant theory. He is an absolute ticking time bomb. Jarvis?
Yeah. Setting up. Okay, so you want to play Garnacho in the 10 and start him in the 10.
Yeah, so what he's hoping is, that he could piss Romero off enough. He's going to get a red card. Players like that used to be a dime a dozen. You'd go in and you'd look at Nadal at Barcelona. So if you're going up against Nadal, he had the beast of Barcelona, you'd go at him and hope he'd fucking knock you about. And he'd go diving around, try and get him sent off. So there's players been around that. And I think he's right about Romero. I think he's, or she, story. I apologise. I don't know if you're male or female. But what I would say is it's a great spot, and it doesn't get thought about or talked about anything like it used to, this type of matchup. you know. And it's like you, Jarvis. You were quite silky when you were playing. You know tomorrow, right? If you come up against me, you know you're the silky player. I like a tackle. You're going to try and get me sent off, aren't you? You do everything in your power to wind me up and get me aggravated. Yep. Yeah, and so you should. It's a good question. I like it. My type of question.
Elbow here, and studs exactly. On your toes.
You can pull my flowing locks.
Walk a little bit like this. Never don't move out of the way, and
get hold of my ponytail, Jarvis. Bastard. And you know that if you're backing in, I've got your shirt to you.
And I'm super annoying, always yapping in your ear.
God, yeah, absolutely. Yeah, it's a great question. I love questions like that. Great question. Hope that kind of answers it. We don't think, to be fair, and Jarvis, he'll always say, we think Garnacho is a 25, 35 minute player at the minute. So probably not from the start, but definitely run at Romero at the back end of the match for sure. Yeah. Dave's come in. Story. Hope that answers your question. David 147. Question: did the club sign players just for Amorim's system, or if he goes to fit into a back four? Again, great question. And we'll let you have that one, pal.
Well, we don't know yet because we only have signed 2 players, and that's 2 young players. We have just signed Dogu and Heaven. And we don't know what Wilcox will bring in for the summer right now. We know Cunha, but I think Cunha is a Amorim player. So going on the Cunha signing, I think it's an Amorim system player, and I don't think we can sit on the fence when it comes to this. Either we back Amorim 100% and give him the players he wants that suits his system, or I don't know. I don't think we will succeed otherwise. So I don't know. I don't think it's a wise strategy to try to sign players that actually can work in them. If we need wingbacks, sign wingbacks.
Yeah,
that's my thoughts. I don't know, Stu.
No, I agree. It's a really good question, though. It's a really well thought out question, Dave. I like those types of questions.
Made me think really hard.
Yeah, but I think Jarvis is right, Dave, as well. I don't think we can. We'll see how that one unfolds. I think it's a difficult question, but a great question. I love questions like that. A quick update from Tyrone. Cunha has posted the United club badge on his Twitter profile.
Okay. Yeah. Well.
No. We always like to hear that, don't we? Yeah. Always like to hear that. Okay. What else have we got? Oh. A very short answer to this one, Nazarene, and that answer is a resounding yes. He would be fucking brilliant for any team, Jamie Vardy, as a backup striker. Whether you like him or not, and I hate him, I think he's an absolute tosser. His attitude, his misses does my Sweden. But as a footballer, for somebody who's going to come on and probably get you 10 goals from the bench, absolutely. No-brainer for me. No-brainer.
Do you take him?
Yeah, 100%. He'll go to Wrexham. Obviously, we know that. He'll go to Wrexham. Of course he will. And good luck to him. But he can still do it in the Premier League. Do you see his goal yesterday?
Yeah, I saw it. Great goal.
Yeah. He could still do it in the Premier League.
And I love this celebration running to the corner flag.
Yeah, all day long on the bench. He should have gone to Arsenal when he had the chance a few seasons ago. Should have gone to Arsenal. Didn't. Stuck it out with Leicester. Had some problems, injuries. Wasn't the Vardy of old. But why wouldn't you? Yes to me. Jarvis?
Tyrone agrees. He said Vardy is underrated, low heavy how he plays. It depends, but I would rather have Jamie Vardy than exactly. Rasmus Højlund.
I'll tell you what, we scored 10 or 15 and more goals with Vardy in our starting 11.
Yeah. So if the choice is signing a striker, let's say Gyökeres, and we need a backup striker, I would rather sell Højlund and bring Vardy in than a Højlund as the second striker.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
Great question. I like questions.
I just want to bring up this comment from Semix when it comes to to the question earlier. 100% give the manager the players that fit the system perfectly, and don't hire a system manager.
Yeah.
Sums it up perfectly. I agree.
Yeah, agreed. Yeah, agreed. What else have we got? Let's have a quick look. Oh, Barman's in. In a dynamic attack, how would your finishing look like? I think we've kind of gone through that, haven't we, with your 2 10s and a 9.
Yeah, the Amorim system.
Yeah.
Yeah. How would your finishing look like?
Are we talking in the box finishing? Are we talking?
Yeah, that's the thing. That's the thing. It's like an open question.
Yeah.
If I was the attacking coach of Man United, I would probably go for a more central striker, like an old-fashioned target type of player, and build more around that. And I would love us to put in more crosses in front of goal. I don't think we cross enough when it comes to this team. I would love to see more crosses. I know Amorim would like. We had a lot of crosses when it comes to his Sporting days, but we don't see it at Man United. So
True.
Yeah, but I think it's because of the lack of a target man, and we can see clearly when he play with a player like Maguire how more easy everything looks. We have someone who occupies 2 centre backs. So
Exactly.
in a way, when it comes to attacking play, I would probably like him more of a target man up front.
Yeah, agreed.
Old fashioned.
147. I'd rather have Reg Vardy. So if you know your Reg Vardys of this world, there was 2 actually. There's Reg Vardy, the car dealer, years and years ago. I think it was an old Rover dealer, and there's a Reg Vardy who used to play a bus driver on a great program sitcom called On the Buses. Loads of films as well. Absolutely brilliant, Dave. Quality as usual, pal. Let's Barman, hope that's answered your question. Right, Trev's in with a question as well. A bit of a fun one for Jarvis. Question for Jarvis: play with Rory McIlroy in the Masters, or play at Old Trafford in a Premier League game? And then for me, drive a Formula 1 car in a race, or play at Old Trafford in a Premier League game.
Well, I would play a game at Old Trafford, 100%.
Yeah, me too. Premier League.
Yeah, that would be a dream.
I've been a passenger in a 2-seat Formula 1 car, but I've never driven one. So definitely a Premier League game for me, 100%. Great question. I love that question. That was a brilliant question. Trev's also come up with another question. As a centre-back, Stu, would you have loved to have played anywhere else on the field? Same for you, Jarvis. I think you're a 10, if I'm not mistaken. What position would you have chosen? Believe it or not, I'd like to have been a goalkeeper, Trev. I was never any good at it, but on a Saturday afternoon before I started playing properly, I would always go in goal because I just used to absolutely love playing in goal. And I thought I was good, but when you think and what you know are 2 different things. So goalkeeper for me, Trev. Jarvis, I was too good as a 10. That's what he's thinking, aren't you?
Now, I would rather actually, if I could do it all over again, I would try to be more of a striker or attacking player. Like, wow, that would be lovely. But I never had the strength, the pace, the height. But as a younger kid, when I was like 9, 10, 11, I played as a striker. I scored a lot of goals.
Excellent.
But when I developed, and getting older,
Of course, I would have kept you out, pal.
Yeah.
With my athleticism, my diving. I'm a woeful goalkeeper now. Crikey!
I would be like a Gianfranco Sola type of striker, I believe.
Oh,
yeah,
really?
Yeah, that would be like something like that.
Okay, nice. Well, there you go. Trevor, that's answered your questions, pal. Good question here from Jamie, who had the better press, Spurs and Man United. I think our pressing's abysmal, quite frankly.
Yeah. Spurs have the better press, but they overcommit. That's their biggest problem, and they can't keep it up for 90 minutes, so it cracks up after a while. So there are things to exploit when it comes to Spurs. And we've seen it with Postecoglou. When he first started out, everybody was cheering and said he was brilliant. And look at Postecoglou, how he gets Spurs playing and his rock and roll football and all of that. Yes, but
it was Reg Varney, not Vardy. He's right. I thought it was Reg Vardy then must have been the car dealer. But Reg Varney, definitely. That's him. Cheers, Dave. I knew you'd bail me out, pal. But anyway, if you've never seen any of those films, I recommend for a cheese level that is absolutely shocking. You should go and watch one of those films.
I just want to say hi to the new people. I see we have Big Bad Rom coming in, and new faces in the chat. There's also Kadeen Thomas coming in. Other people tuning in at the end of the show. We are doing the Q&A. So if you have any questions, start with the letter Q and get your questions in.
Kudos to Tyrone. Absolutely brilliant, pal. Absolutely brilliant. Stu Maguire and Jarvis Solskjaer. Oh, brilliant. We got some great guys in here. I don't know where we were. Jamie, I hope that answers your question. Georgie, I hope you're still in. We did talk about the possible Cunha transfer, and we're all absolutely made up. Georgie, myself, and Jarvis talked about it 6 to 8 months ago. And we identified Cunha as being definitely one of the players we'd like to see come in. So we had a message from Tyrone saying that Cunha had placed the United badge on his X page. So hopefully we're getting closer to that deal.
Mm-hmm.
Who else have we've done that one? We've done that one. Nareen's back in with a question. Jarvis, this one's for you, pal. This one's for you. What is the difference? What a brilliant question, by the way. What is the difference between Amorim's style of play with Ten Hag's? So, the difference basically between Amorim and Ten Hag.
Mm-hmm. That's a
great question.
Do we have 2 hours or?
I'll tell you what, Nazi. Yeah, let's. Jarvis can give you the shortened, but we can do.
I know the level of these guys, and you all know your tactics. But I can try to simplify it really. But maybe I'm wrong in some things. But basically, when it comes to playing out from the back, Ten Hag used to invert one of his fullbacks into midfield to get the overload. We don't see that with Amorim. And when it comes to building and playing out from the back, I think Ten Hag was more short passes. We never saw it at Man United, but when you look at Ajax, it was more about controlling the game. But Amorim is more direct, and he varies between playing short and playing it long. And also when it comes to the press play, I think Ten Hag, his press play was built on triggers. Triggers if the ball goes from the goalkeeper to the fullback. There's a trigger, and then you try to press from one side and isolate the opposition. But I would say the press play of Amorim is more organized, structured. I would say in the way they play the 3-4-3, because you always have the pentagon shape in the middle, and you have the 2 wingbacks ready to jump. So vaguely, that's I would say is the biggest difference between these 2 managers. But they're not. I say they're also very similar in a lot of ways. So
yeah, brilliant. Tyrone just sent a quick apology. It's a fan account. No problem, Tyrone. But thanks anyway, buddy, for clearing that up. Nareen, we will be doing some kind of shows over the summer. So if you want, we can do you a tactical breakdown, and Jarvis can go through it on the tactical board to explain it a bit more detail if you would like in future shows. Because Jarvis is brilliant at that stuff. Very quick one. We both said yes. In fact, Mbeumo was quite popular within the Devilish Tacticos. Quick one here from Genghis. According to the Manchester Evening News, Boval's not travelled, or he's not in the travelling squad. But we don't know that for sure. But he's not in the travelling squad. Okay, final question, Jarvis.
Yes.
Question for the panel from
before you go, I just want to say that the injury situation now, we can just share it and
okay, lovely.
Do a quick recap for the late arrivals. Dane Scarlett, Dejan Kulusevski, James Maddison, Lucas Bergwald, and Radu Dragustin is injured at Spurs. And we also have Dalot, Zirkzee, Yoro, Martínez, and Delap. But we all know that Dalot, Zirkzee, Lenny Yoro, and even Delap are traveling and could be available for the game.
Yes, it is worth pointing out, guys, that Maddison is traveling.
Yeah, but it's a knee injury. They said right away he's out for the rest of the season. Yeah. So I don't expect him.
He's travelled, or he's travelling.
Yeah, okay.
But I'm with you on that one. Final question. Can you foresee a Kobe comeback to form next season? Yeah, absolutely I can. I think he's had his problems. He's not fully fit. You can just tell he's not fully fit. I think he's tried to force his way back sooner.
Yeah.
Rather than later. Yeah, and I think he needs a break. I wouldn't take him on the postseason tour. I'll send him away on holiday, but get him back early doors for pre-season training. So absolutely, I think he can come back to form next season, no problem at all. He showed flashes.
Big Bad Rom is apparently a Spurs fan. So
lovely. So yeah, definitely Kadeen. I think you'll see a better version of Maynard.
And Maddison is supposed to have a knee injury, yet he's working perfectly. So I think that if he doesn't play, then Levy throws.
He is travelling. According to the Manchester Evening News, he's travelling.
It worries me a little bit because Maddison is one of the best players, and he liked to roam into that left midfield pocket and know how to exploit our wingback system. So,
yeah,
Bruno.
Just a couple left. There's a couple of quick ones just come in. Jarvis, best in class, just been said quite a lot by the board. And are you happy with the Delap inquiry?
Yeah, he's decent, he's young, he fits the bill, but I think we need better. I think it's a big gamble going for a young player like that. Big gamble.
Yeah, I think it's a big gamble. Thanks for your question there, Jamie. I like it. Yeah, it puts us on the spot. That's the way. And Trev, as a club, have we still got the pulling power we once had? No, I don't believe we have. We would have been in for Grealish from Villa when he was at his height, for sure. Fergie made sure that we went for the best of British talent or Premier League talent. I like what we're doing with Cunha because we're going for one of the best, consistent players in the league. I like that. If we went for Mbeumo, again, very consistent, good player. If we go for players like Sander Berge, again, brilliant for Fulham this season. Gareth Bowen, brilliant for West Ham. If we're going for these types of players, great. But I want to see us do more. But I don't think we've got the pulling power that we once had.
No. Quick answer. We don't have the same pulling power, but we still have a lot of pulling power. But I don't think it's for the right reasons. Because the player came to Man United before because they wanted to win things. Now I think it's just for the money and for the fame, and it worries me a little bit. So it leaves us with a lot of big bunch of mercenaries who's not fully committed to play for the badge. So I think that's our biggest problem at the moment.
Totally agree. Jordan Walls has come in with a quick one. I predicted 2-0. Jordan, and Jarvis predicted 3-2.
3-2.
Yes.
Yes.
We'll leave this question, Nazin, because it takes a little bit of thought. But basically, he wants to know who should leave in the summer and who should stay. So it just takes a bit of thought. We'll keep that one starred, and we'll address that one. Just take a bit of thought, that one. A good question. I like it, but it just takes a bit of thought.
But we are definitely going to sell a lot of big names, and I think players. I think we will be shocked at the end of the transfer window. Did we really sell Bruno? Did we really sell Donato? Did we sell Mainu? So I think a lot of fan favorites will leave, because I think Amorim is known for being brutal when it comes to getting rid of players, and being a fan favorite doesn't protect anyone.
Yeah, I totally agree. It's a difficult one. I think you're going to see a cull, and you're going to see some players you're not expecting to leave. I totally agree. But we will address that one, Nazim. We'll leave it starred. Will this be a European Star Final or a Premier League? We actually spoke about this. CH27, welcome, by the way. We actually spoke about this a couple of weeks ago, and I said to Jarvis, I raised this, and I said to Jarvis, it's not going to be a European game. No. It's going to be a Premier League game, and I said that Amorim needs to treat it like a Premier League game, and that's how me and Jarvis both see it. We think it'll be a Premier League style match, but abroad. It can't be a European game, and he doesn't have Postecoglou doesn't have the wherewithal to make it a European game. He will make it as Premier League as he possibly can, because they've beaten us 3 times.
But I think it's a European night because it's a final in a way.
It's a European night,
So it's a double-edged sword, and when you go to Bilbao, all the fuss around the final, I think we have the experience. We've been in. This is our 5th final in 5 years, and also we have a couple of old heads that wants to win. Casemiro, 7 European finals, 7 wins.
He's not won the Europa League. He's never been in the Europa
but I
League.
think we have the experience needed. And when we know Spurs, they are Spursy when it comes to finals. They usually win when the year end in 1, as the song say.
As the song says,
71, 81, 91, or whatever.
Yeah. Mr. B's got a quick question: salt or vinegar on chips?
Salt. Salt for me.
Salt for me as well.
Yeah.
And Tyrone. Last question from Tyrone: is Ruben Amorim one-dimensional? I like that question, so I'm going to give that to you, Jarvis, my old mate.
No, I don't think he's one-dimensional. I think he has many aspects when it comes to his tactics, his games, and I think a lot of people misunderstand what he's trying to do with the 3-4-3, the back 3 line. I don't think it's that rigid as people want it to be, and I think a lot of people don't understand football at all when it comes to this. And now I talk about media, not you guys. You are brilliant, but the media, the mainstream media, how they put Amorim's tactics, how they talk about the pundits, how they talk about the back 3 line. I don't think they really. Sometimes I can't understand that they are ex-professional footballers, how they talk about a system. But that's just my opinion.
No, I agree. I agree with you wholeheartedly on that. Guys, thank you very much. Brilliant Q&A session tonight. Some absolute cracking questions. And some of them got me and Jarvis thinking, and we like those types of questions. So, as I say, just going back to Nazrin, we will answer your question that is starred. We will keep it, and maybe we'll go through it maybe next Monday.
Yes, and by the way, we got a small super chat at the end of last show that we unfortunately missed. There was a Villa fan. What's his name? I can't remember. Colin.
Yeah, let me
so
get
I just want to say thank you for the donation.
Lee Collison, sorry, Lee Collison.
Thank you, and sorry for not mentioning you. My bad.
We're hoping he's going to tune in on Sunday
Yes.
evening after the final Premier League games. So,
Mm.
guys, it's been a mammoth audience again. Another great show. Your questions and comments have been absolutely brilliant, as always. So, thank you very, very much.
Yes, and before we leave, I just want to say, everybody of you have to go into the non-live section after the show and get your score prediction for the final.
Yes, please. Yes.
And if any of you get it right, we will read it out on the next live show on the match reaction on Wednesday night. So get your prediction in 2-1, 3-3, 5-5, 6-2, as Mark said, whatever. And I just want to thank everybody for tuning in. We have Jamie, we have Genghis Khan, Jordan Ball, Trevor Wade, Nasrin, Wisser, Tyrone Williams, Dada coming in. That's a new name that I haven't seen before. Dada. He said, was the Liverpool versus Spurs final a Premier League game? It was very intense. Yeah.
Yes.
Good point.
We've got loads of supporters as well from other teams tonight, which has been absolutely brilliant. If you like what you've seen, if you like what you saw on X, please go over to YouTube, like and subscribe. It really helps for us. We're still in YouTube jail. We don't know why, but we got a real loyal base here with the Devilish Tacticos, and we're very, very grateful for that.
And we have Mr. B, CH27, Big Up CH27, Whisper,
rinsing us as always.
And I just want a special mention to J United member 3 month, with Rushmano gifting 5 Tactical Devils membership, Eduardo with his super chat. Brilliant show tonight, guys, and we will be back on Wednesday night. So thank you, everybody. Yalim Almin, who else? I'm trying to scroll up so many of these. Meeks, Jamie Wayne.
2 more sleeps. Brilliant. 2 more sleeps, ladies and gentlemen. 2 more sleeps.
And I don't know how many likes we are on. My phone is out of juice. So
let me tell you. Let me tell you quickly. I don't think we quite made the 50, old friend.
Didn't we make it to 50? 175 people watching. Come on, guys. If you haven't smashed the like, now is the time.
Sorry, 53. I apologize. 53.
Big up, guys. Big up.
Big up.
Thank you all for contributing. And Trevor Wade comes in and confirming Stu Wallace 53
likes.
Not racing 54.
And we're in YouTube jail because of my man Keeney. He knows.
I think we make too long of shows for YouTube. They want people to, because the expansion rate of YouTube viewers is 10 minutes or less.
Yes,
so we go like 2.5 hours.
Yeah, but you guys like 2.5 hours. We know that. So we're here for you guys, not for them.
And Jamie also comes in with a comment and say, as an outsider, not a Man United fan, thank for the invite. It's going to be a great final. Good luck, Man United fans. Thank you, Jamie. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you. You're more than welcome to come back anytime.
Yes. And that leaves the end of the show. And as I said, go in the non-live section, leave a comment, your match score prediction for the game, and we will be back on Wednesday night. Thank you, moderators. And thank you, Stu Wally, for coming on. And we will see you in the next one. Have a good one and a good night.